Have you ever wondered, where did my money go? So I was rereading one of my favorite books, The Richest Man in Babylon. And so that inspired me to this will be coming out as an article, but I said, this is a good little short lesson that we could talk about. So the 7 ways to fix an empty bank account is going to be the title of this episode. And so we're just going to talk about basics. Folks, you win by mastering the basics. So simple money habits that can that can help you get ahead. So if you ever look at your bank account and ask, where did all my money go? Right? You worked hard, you earned money, you paid your bills, but there is little or nothing left. And this can be at $50,000 a year or 200, 250, right? So it's not the money, it's really your habits, right? So this happens to many people. People are, the problem is not always how much money you make. The problem is maybe what happens to your money after you earn it, right? Once it hits your personal economy. And so your money comes in, bills get paid, you buy food, gas, other things, and then you try to save what's left. Most of the time, there is nothing left. Okay. And so you need to start with, well, keep it simple. You don't need to start with stocks or a fancy investment plan. People always come to me like, I want to invest. I want to work on my credit. No, that's not what you start. You start with, can I keep, am I spending more than I'm making? Right. And so here are several, 7 simple habits to help you take better control of your money. All right. So the 7 cures for an empty bank account. Cure number one, pay yourself first. Most people use their money in this order. They earn money, they pay bills, they spend money, they save what's left. That really doesn't work well. So try this. Save money. I'm sorry, earn money, right? You got to earn money, right? So you have to be productive, right? So you I always tell people I can't steer a parked car, but um you can earn some, save some, and then pay your bills. So start with I don't, I usually say 10 or 15%, but it doesn't matter, right? So it's the habit more than the amount, right? So if you can save 5% of each paycheck with the goal of working towards 15 or 20, that's fine. Like, because what you got to do is you got to exercise that I can pay myself muscle, right? And so you got to work on your wealth building muscles, right? You can set it up on automatic transfer because savings really needs to be automatic and systematic. It can't be a willpower thing, right? This moves money into saving every time you get paid and treat savings as a bill that must get paid, which it is, and that bill is you. You work for it. Don't just give it all away, right? So you work hard for the money. You should keep some of it. Number two, second cure for empty bank account, give every dollar a job, right? So people do not know where their money goes, right? They pay bills as they come, they buy things when they want them. At the end of the month, their money is gone. What we do for people is what we call cash flow mapping, right? So you want to tell your money where to go instead of asking where it went. So when it hits your account, what do you got to do? You got to pay for your home, you got to pay for food, you got transportation, insurances, you got this is a biggie right now. Debt, 35 cents of every dollar is for most households or more sometime is going toward debt, savings, family needs fund. So this doesn't mean you can't enjoy your money, but when it comes in, you need to earmark it to those things I just mentioned, but it needs to go to you need to be at the top of the list. Okay. 3, don't spend every pay raise, right? There's something called Parkinson's law that says expenses will rise to meet income. And so when people earn more money, they often spend money, buy a better car, they move into a bigger home, they eat out more, they add new monthly bills. So soon the extra money's gone, right? Expenses, Parkinson's law, one of Parkinson's law, Northcliffe Parkinson says that expenses will rise to meet income. Okay. So when you get a raise, save part of it. For example, you may save half your raise and you can use the other half to improve your life or lifestyle. This lets you enjoy more today while building for a better future. I want you to live the best life you can right now. So, you know, but people think of, if you say a budget, people automatically go to scarcity and what go to what I can't do and it's restrictive, and nobody will want to be restricted all their life. And so you want to enjoy because that's the reason for your working. You go on vacation. You need to, you know, give yourself a little reward within your cash flow. So if you don't, it goes back to number two, give every dollar a job, right? So part of it needs to be, all right, you can have a fun budget. Okay. Three is don't spend every raise. Four, build a cash reserve. So that goes with step one. Part of all you earn is yours to keep, but you got to store it somewhere. So we call it a wealth capture account, wealth coordination account. So life doesn't go as planned. I have a mentor who said the cleanliness of theory is no match for the mess that is reality. Okay. So life doesn't go as planned. Cars break down, homes need repair, jobs can change, the business can have a slow month. So these things are not, shouldn't always force you to use a credit card because you don't have any cash. Because you'll find is that you're still paying for that situation 6 months, 1 year later, you with the interest and you're transferring your money to the financial institution, right? So start with a small goal, $500, $1,000, and then just keep building. Okay. And over time, it should cover 6 to 12 months. I would say my first goal for you would be 3 months of your bills or your income or your bills, um, and to cover your 6 to 12 months to cover your main bill. So this money should be safe, easy to reach. The first job of money is not to earn large return, is to give you safety, access, choices, and control. I always say liquidity, use, and control. And the cash reserve can turn a crisis into a problem you can. Here's our fifth cure. Stop using debt to pay for your life. Like debt, when you're using debt, you're using future earnings as collateral, right? And so people are spending, not 110% of income. So if debt lets you buy something today and pay for it later, but the problem is that you often pay much more than the original. You go shopping with credit cards, you're still paying for groceries you already eaten, right? But it's still coming out of your budget. So the problem is that every month that debt payment uses money that you've not yet earned. Make a list of all here's a homework, here's an assignment, right? Make a list of all your debts, write them down, how much you owe, your monthly payment, the interest rate, and how long it will take to pay. And then make a plan to reduce that debt. But notice, first rule is pay yourself first. So you can't focus on getting out of debt and not pay yourself first. We have an assessment that will link to this called the Find Your Money Assessment, but we have a link from, I have a workshop we're going to do called Debt Free is Not Enough, right? If you just focus on getting out of debt, you're out of debt, but you have no money. So you're going to go back into debt. So we help you plan for that. But don't liquidate all your savings that pay off debt, because that your goal is not to be debt free and broke. So the goal is have less debt, more savings, more control, and fewer payments to other people. So my goal is to free you from debt to others, not get out of debt, right? So we talk about being the bank, and banking is creating a pool of money that you control. So if in a perfect world, we'd want you through privatized banking, have your bank buy the debt back. So those payments that you're paying out right now, what if they came back to you? Okay. And you got a closed loop where money didn't leave your personal economy. Okay. And protect. Six, what you have. It takes years to build a strong financial life, but one bad event can liquidate it quickly. This is why protection matters way more than you think it does. So review the things that protect you and your family: health insurance, life insurance, disability insurance, car, homeowners or renters, liability insurance, a will, a power of attorney, the people named on your account. So think of these as a fence around your money. and your family. I like to call it a moat. You want to build a moat around your castle. Insurance and legal papers may not be fun to talk about, but they can protect everything you've worked to build. See, so when you look at insurance, a lot of these companies are named such and such indemnity company. You want to the purpose of like a homeowner's policy or auto policy is to indemnify you, not make you rich, but to bring you back even to where you were before the loss. So that's it. Because you don't want to do it and then go below zero. You got to protect yourself so you can be made whole and you can keep moving forward without having to play 5 years of catch up because you didn't protect yourself. And number seven, cure for empty bank account is learn skills that help you earn more. You can only cut spending so far. Let me repeat that. You can only cut spending, but so far. Eventually, you're going to, and I run into a lot of people, they're not really going crazy, right? They just are unaware, they don't have a system. And, I always tell people I'm not in the lifestyle reduction business. So I'm not going to tell you can't go to Starbucks or that kind of stuff, but you do need to live within your means and have a focus on expanding your means. That's the seven. Learn skills that help you earn more. Money's a result of creating value in the marketplace, right? So if you want to increase your revenue or inflow or cash flow, you should be asking yourself, well, how can I serve my fellow man? How can I solve problems for others, expensive problems for others? What do I know how to do that other people don't? That if I solve their problem, they'll happily exchange their money for my solution. That's how you think about it. So ask yourself, what new skill can I learn? What do employers need? What problems can I solve? Can I become better speaker or leader? Is there a class I can take? Can I start a small side business? See, all these things, those are solutions. It's not necessarily working more overtime or getting a second job. And maybe it is. So look, in my mind, everything's on the table, right? So your greatest money making tool is not your house or your retirement account, it's your ability to work, learn, and solve problems and earn more income. So keep building that ability. So where do you start? Start with step one. You don't need to fix everything today. Start with one small action. You could save 5% of your next paycheck. Look at where you spent money last month. Stop paying one thing that paying for something you don't even use no more. Uh, when's the last time you pick your subscription? Did you watch on that? Because you'll watch it so you can watch your TV show for $11, and then next thing you know, that you already caught up and you still have that $11.95, $12.95 come out of your account, but now you got four of them. So that's $50 a month. That's $600 a year that you don't have because you gave it away for something you don't even use. And that's an easy one. Add 50 and add another $50 or $100 to your cash reserve. That will be a good action. Review your insurance. Learn a class to learn new skills. To watch a YouTube to learn new skills. There's a lot of free stuff out there. I'd probably go to YouTube University, on the truth be told, and Claude or ChatGPT. How can I take this skill and will people pay me for this, what I've learned at my job outside of my job as a consultant? So, uh, AI should be your brainstorming partner. Can't do the work for you, but if you prompt it right, it can help you think through ideas. Okay. So financial freedom does not usually come from one big choice, right? Small steps create big changes when you repeat them. And if you want to move towards freedom, again, that comes from good choices made over and over and over again. And you first save, control your spending, reduce debt, protect your family, and grow your skills. You can stop asking, where did my money go? Instead, you can tell your money where to go. Instead of asking where to go, you need to tell it where to go instead of wondering where it went. So, hey, I'm Curtis May. I hope this little short tip helped you. Go out there and make it a great day.